G'day mates, let's talk about Australia's economy. It's a bit like a boomerang that's not coming back. The lucky country is facing some serious economic headwinds. Growth is sluggish, inflation is biting, Aussies are feeling the pinch. For decades, Australia enjoyed an economic miracle. It dodged recessions, rode the mining boom, and boasted a high standard of living. But those days seem long gone. The global economy is shaky. China's appetite for Aussie exports has waned, and natural disasters have dealt a blow. The numbers paint a stark picture. GDP growth is anemic. Unemployment is creeping up. The cost of living is soaring. Aussies are tightening their belts. The great Australian dream of owning a home is slipping out of reach for many. It's not just Australia. The global economy is in a funk. War in Ukraine, supply chain chaos, soaring energy prices. These factors are hitting economies worldwide. And Australia, despite its isolation, isn't immune. But there are also homegrown problems. Australia's economy is heavily reliant on exports, particularly to China. But China's economy is slowing down. They're buying less iron ore, coal, and other Aussie goodies. That's bad news for Australia. Then there's the weather. Australia's been hammered by floods, fires, and droughts in recent years. These natural disasters disrupt supply chains, damage infrastructure, and hurt agricultural production. That translates to economic pain, costing jobs. Australia has always been a land of extremes. But in recent years, the extremes have become more extreme. Devastating bushfires, catastrophic floods, prolonged droughts. These natural disasters are becoming more frequent and intense, a grim reminder of climate change's impact. The economic toll is staggering. The 2019 to 2020 bushfires alone are estimated to have cost the Australian economy billions of dollars. Floods have ravaged farms, crippled businesses, and displaced communities. Droughts have decimated crops and livestock, driving up food prices. These disasters not only cause immediate economic damage, but also create long-term challenges. Rebuilding infrastructure, supporting displaced communities, and adapting to a changing climate require significant investment. It's a heavy burden for any economy to bear. Section 5. The RBA's Balancing Act. Taming inflation, sparking growth. Enter the Reserve Bank of Australia, the country's central bank. Their job is like trying to juggle chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. They need to control inflation without choking off economic growth. And right now, it's a real balancing act. Inflation in Australia is at its highest level in decades. The cost of everything from groceries to gasoline is skyrocketing. The RBA's main weapon against inflation is raising interest rates. Higher interest rates make it more expensive to borrow money, which can cool down spending and bring inflation under control. But here's the catch. Raising interest rates too quickly can also slow down the economy. It makes it harder for businesses to invest and for consumers to spend. The RBA is walking a tightrope, trying to find that sweet spot between taming inflation and supporting growth. Section 6. The housing headache. Prices soar, affordability plummets. Remember the great Australian dream of owning a home? Yeah, that dream is turning into a nightmare for many Aussies. House prices in Australia, especially in major cities like Sydney and Melbourne, have gone through the roof. It's like watching a game of real estate roulette, where the house always wins. Years of low interest rates fueled a property frenzy. Investors piled in, snapping up properties and driving up prices. First-time home buyers were left struggling to get a foot on the property ladder. Wages haven't kept pace with house price growth, making home ownership increasingly out of reach for many. This housing affordability crisis has broader economic implications. High housing costs eat into disposable income, leaving less money for spending on other goods and services. It can also discourage people from moving to areas with better job opportunities, hindering labor mobility. Section 7. Wage woes Aussies. Feel the pinch. Here's the kicker. While the cost of living is soaring, wages are barely budging. It's like trying to outrun a kangaroo on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not getting anywhere. Aussie workers are facing a cost of living crisis. For years, wage growth in Australia has been stagnant. The gap between productivity growth and wage growth has widened. This means that workers are becoming more productive, but aren't being rewarded for their hard work with higher wages. Something doesn't add up, right? This wage stagnation has real consequences. It erodes living standards, making it harder for families to make ends meet. It also weakens consumer spending, which can further drag on economic growth. It's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken. Section 8. Lessons from the past. Australia's economic resilience. Now, before you go full-on doomsday prepper, let's remember one thing. Australia is no stranger to economic challenges. It's weathered storms before and come out stronger. The lucky country has a knack for bouncing back. Remember the 1990s recession or the global financial crisis of 2008? Australia navigated those turbulent waters with relative success. It implemented sound economic policies, diversified its economy, and maintained a flexible labour market. These factors helped cushion the blow. So, while the current economic headwinds are real, it's important to keep things in perspective. Australia has a track record of resilience. It has the tools and the experience to navigate this challenging period and emerge stronger on the other side. Section 9. Policy prescriptions, charting a course to recovery. So, what's the solution? How does Australia get its economic mojo back? Well, there's no silver bullet. It's going to require a multi-pronged approach, a bit like tackling a drop bear with a combination of wit, courage, and a really big stick. First, we need to address the elephant in the room, China. Australia needs to diversify its trading partners and reduce its reliance on China. This means forging closer economic ties with other countries in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. Second, we need to tackle the housing affordability crisis. This requires a combination of increasing housing supply, reforming planning regulations, and exploring innovative housing solutions. We need to make the Great Australian Dream attainable for more Aussies. Third, we need to boost wages and productivity. This means investing in education and training, fostering innovation, and creating a more competitive business environment. When businesses thrive, workers benefit. Section 10. A glimmer of hope. Reasons for optimism. It's easy to get bogged down in the doom and gloom, but amidst the economic challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Australia has a lot going for it. It has a highly skilled workforce, abundant natural resources, and a stable political system. These are valuable assets in uncertain times. The government is taking steps to address the economic challenges. It's investing in infrastructure, supporting innovation, and promoting trade diversification. The RBA is carefully navigating the tightrope of monetary policy, and Aussie businesses and workers are adapting to the changing economic landscape. The road to recovery won't be easy. There will be bumps along the way. But by addressing the challenges head-on, embracing innovation, and working together, Australia can emerge from this period of economic uncertainty stronger and more prosperous than ever before. So, chin up, mates. The lucky country still has a lot of luck left in it.